again, Ouachita, and welcome to this school year's first edition of the Ouachita News Show. I'm Kaylin Clay.
And I'm Haley Shord. We are excited to be back on campus telling Ouachita stories.
That's right, Haley. I am thrilled to be back at the desk with you and also to be co-producing this show with you this year. Now, everyone is probably wondering why we're wearing these silly headbands today. We are not the birthday girls. Haley, can you tell us what the occasion is?
Absolutely. We're wishing Ouachita a happy birthday this week. Ouachita was founded on September 6, 1886 as Ouachita Baptist College. It has since been renamed to Ouachita Baptist University, and it's the place that we call home today, as many others have for 137 years. Now, we want to celebrate accordingly, so we brought a celebration to the studio. Ouachita also celebrated another important birthday this week. We'll get to know more of that history later in the show. For now, it's time to take a look at our weather. Josh Engel has the forecast.
Well, thank you, Haley. Guys, today is going to be moderately hot, actually, with a, 98-degree temperature. It doesn't feel good. The real feel is 102, and while the humidity of 71 would make that feel a lot worse, that is a really high humidity. The thing is, we actually have some wind gusts that do actually help out a little bit, make it feel just a little bit better, but 102, that doesn't feel good at all. And I wouldn't be outside if I were you. We also have a potential for a thunderstorm later this afternoon/evening. There's a potential for that. Just keep that in mind, especially as you may have evening plans. Moving on into this weekend, we actually have our official first football game on campus at Cliff Harris Stadium. And honestly, guys, it's going to be pretty great weather. This is great news. You can see the temperature is estimated right now to be about 67 degrees in the evening, mid-60s really. The game starts at 6 p.m. and the sunset for that day is at about 7:30. So we'll have a little bit of sun. It's a very sunny day too, not many clouds. So maybe consider bringing some sunscreen if you burn easily at the beginning of the game. However, the sun will go down pretty fast. But overall, it's going to be a great day just for football. This week actually is going to be pretty great in terms of the fact it's going to be just a little bit cooler. We do have some storms, as you can see today, and we also have one on Friday. However, in general, it's going to be a pretty sunny week, a little bit cooler too. We got 98 today, but it actually is going to go back into the 80s actually, some 90s here. Coming back later in the week, we'll get a little bit hotter. We have 81 though, so that's actually kind of interesting. We may be actually dropping a little bit. However, guys, bad news, fall is not officially starting till the 23rd, so we'll just have to wait a few more weeks before that officially begins. So, last few weeks of summer, let's get through it strong. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone. I don't know what that's about. Guys, numbers are provided by AccuWeather. Back to the desk.
Well, Josh, thanks for that update. Now, I'm personally ready to pull out my cardigans for fall, so hopefully sweater weather makes it into the forecast soon. Now, we had a bit of a rain scare earlier in the week while we celebrated 100 years of Cone Bottoms Hall. But the committee for this event postponed the 1920s themed birthday party for 1 hour later, and the sun was out just in time, thankfully. Now, I had the privilege of covering that story.
Well, Cone Bottoms Hall is turning 100, and students, faculty, staff, and friends of Ouachita are all gathered right outside of Cone Bottoms to celebrate with a birthday party.
Founded in 1923 as a female residence hall, it was the jewel of the South in regard to college dormitories, and now it serves as the home of Ouachita's administrative offices.
Newspaper articles said that this was like the jewel of the South of college dorms. It was a beautiful building. Some really good foresight decided not to knock this down and to make it our administration building in the 90s. And we're so thankful that it's still this prominent place on our campus.
Well, they say it takes a village, and it took a village of tigers to honor this historical building through a 1920s themed birthday party.
It's taken a great team of people to pull it off. People from communications to make the beautiful signage, Sodexo to make all these delicious treats and things happen. Other random partners like Purple Cow that just love Ouachita and are letting us use that ice cream. And we really could not have done this without facilities management.
From color-changing lemonade to a hot air balloon, students are crowding the lawn to take part.
I came from the library, so I walked up and I heard the music playing. It was really cool to hear the kind of this jazzy music. And then I went over and tried out some games, and I also got a Cone Bottoms 100 sticker, which is really cool.
It's worth celebrating. Cone Bottoms Hall is the front door of Ouachita.
I think just that atmosphere reminds me of part of what makes us who we are, the kind of people we are. I meet a lot of prospective students, and this is the front door. Every prospective student walks into this building, and I walk down these stairs to meet them and welcome them to Ouachita here at Cone Bottoms Hall.
Well, what an incredible event. Happy birthday to you, Cone Bottoms, for the Ouachita News Show. I'm Kaylin Clay.
What a neat time to be a Ouachita student. This story is the start of a new series for the Ouachita News Show, Monumental Minute. I am thrilled to share another new series with you all. I sat down with our student body president, Brock Bivens, for an interview. This is the first story in our Meet the Executive series, where we will get to know the officers of our Student Senate Cabinet here at Ouachita. Now let's hear from Brock. Well, this is where the magic happens. Today I spoke with the Student Senate President, Brock Bivens, to tell us just a little bit about what they do on campus. Student Senate has become the bridge between faculty and students here at Ouachita. Senate is responsible for many events and meetings on campus. Let's hear what the coveted job of president for this organization looks like.
I get to be kind of the behind the scenes in a sense for some things, a lot of the planning that goes into meetings, kind of organizationally keeping everything together, and just kind of making a lot of fun decisions and getting to kind of be the head leader of it. We have topics ranging from things like parking all the way up to like course evaluations. We have a bunch of different new incentives that we're trying to do and different things we hear from students. So whatever's brought to us, we get to talk about and kind of discuss. I get to like walk around and hear different perspectives from students. On our soundboard that's on the info portal, we get to hear a lot of input from that as well. One thing we kind of worked over the summer is something called Bingo BU. A lot of you might have, it's a little bingo card that we've been working through. Help with our new sponsor, Adam Weed, he came up with the name. We added intramurals on the list so a lot of freshmen could know that there's a whole bunch of things on here. These are all stuff to do on campus, but we specifically picked intramurals for one of our cards to kind of let everyone know that, yeah, there are things to do go on outside, like pickleball, water polo, basketball, football, all sorts of things.
I also had the opportunity to discuss with Brock the people that make up this student-led organization.
A very diverse group of students from all different perspectives, all different clubs, organizations, very broadly across campus so that we can kind of make the best decisions possible. I feel like everyone really gains a lot for being a part of Student Senate, communicationally, but also organizationally, and getting to develop their leadership capabilities on campus.
Consisting of 29 student members and 2 faculty sponsors, Senate meets once a week to problem solve for the student body at Ouachita.
I'm really excited to kind of cultivate an environment that really breeds really good problem-solving skills, good communication. I think we've done a really, really good job of that and kind of taking a little bit of the seriousness out of it. You know, I think making it more fun is something that's really helped the conversation here, really helped be a better voice for students.
Well, now that we've learned a little bit more about Student Senate, maybe you will want to run for OBU Student Office. Follow OBU Student Senate on all their social medias. I'm Haley Shord with the Ouachita News. Back to you in the studio.
The men of Rho Sigma hosted Rho Sig Riptide in the Tiger Den last week. This was a fun get-together for the start of school. Lots of music, dancing, and a late night of hanging out with friends. Now, in other news, Tacos for Life has been open in the Student Center for almost 2 weeks now. And from what I hear and have tasted, it is a big hit here at Ouachita. And new this year, Ouachita held classes on Labor Day, but this will grant us extra days for Thanksgiving break in November, so that's pretty exciting.
Tiger Serve Day is coming up on September 23rd. The theme this year is to be present, signifying the importance of being present with God, each other, and the community we will serve. If you're not already on a team and want to serve the city of Arkadelphia with a group, visit www.obu.edu Elrod Serve. The deadline to register is September 15th, and it's time now to take a look at sports. Lexi Lunsford has your Roar Rundown for today. To start off our first Roar Rundown of the semester, the Tiger football team opened the 2023 season on Thursday night with a 38-14 win at Southwestern Oklahoma State. The win gave the Tigers their 16th consecutive season open victory and their 7th straight win at Paul Sharp Cup against the Bulldogs. Offensively, the Tigers racked up 436 yards of total offense, including 283 yards and 4 passing touchdowns from quarterback Riley Harms. Defensively, the Tigers kept the Bulldogs off balance throughout the game and ended up with 6 sacks in the win, led by Chase Taylor with 1.5 sacks. Josiah Johnson was the leading tackler with 10 total tackles. The Tigers will play their home opener this Saturday, hosting Northwestern Oklahoma State at 6 p.m. at Cliff Harris Stadium. Ouachita Volleyball opened its season over the weekend, in Texas at the A&M Kingsville Invitational. Battling sickness and injury throughout the weekend, the Tigers picked up their first win of the year in the last match of the weekend, defeating Colorado State Pueblo Thunderwolves 3-2. The men and women's cross-country teams opened the 2023 season with successful races at Memphis Twilight Classic, as both teams finished in 6th place. The men placed 6th out of 20 teams, finishing ahead of Division I and other Division II teams. The women finished 6th out of a total of 21 teams. The Tiger women were 2nd among Division II teams, but also finished above GAC members Harding and several other Division I and Division II teams. The top runner for the women was Taylor Keith, who finished the 5K in 8th place. For the men, the top finisher was Dylan Dew, who had a 25th place finish. The women's soccer team opened its season in a draw in Oklahoma against Northeastern State. Jamie Fowler's penalty kick, opened in the 73rd minute, allowed the Tigers to escape with a 1-1 draw against the Riverhawks. The Tigers earned their first win of the 2023 season on Sunday in a 3-0 victory over Southwest Baptist in the first home game of the year. Fowler added 2 more goals to her season total, with goals Sunday coming on assists from Grayson Turner. The Tigers return home on Thursday to face Union University at 4 p.m. at Cluck Field. The men's soccer opened the 2023 season on Thursday night on the road with a 3-0 loss to Union University. The Tiger team wrapped up the opening weekend of the 2023 season on Saturday with a 1-0 loss on the road to Christian Brothers. Ouachita goalkeeper Messiah Nidahad had 6 saves in a complete game effort. The Ouachita women's team combined for a total of 10 wins in singles and doubles over the past weekend, competing at Rumble by River in the 2023-2024 fall opener. The Tigers are back in action next weekend, September 8th through 10th in Plano, Texas, at the Marnie Berryman Invitational hosted by Collin College. I'm Lexi Lunsford, and this has been your Roar Rundown.
All right, thanks, Lexi. I'm excited to see how our Tigers do this year, and I'm also anxious to hear all of the Tiger Tunes themes at the football game on Saturday.
Yes, well, we asked a question on our Instagram story. If you could create a Tiger Tune show, what would the theme be? We're sharing some of our favorites. Our very own Brody Kriegel would choose an outer space theme. Priscilla Leverett and said office supplies. From Marley Moix, pilots and stewardesses. Janet Carden said Hamilton, and Vivian Pryor would choose Shrek.
Wow, those are awesome. Now, Vivian also said hairdressers, and I think that's my personal favorites because I'm kind of thinking like a reenactment of Still Magnolias. But Haley, what would you create?
I have to say, well, my favorite past tune show was Kappa Kai Leprechauns. It's such a classic. The little jumps is incredible. I would do something having to do with gold and rainbows. Change the theme up a little bit. I don't know.
Beautiful. Well, that's all for today. Make sure to follow us on Instagram at Ouachita News Show and to answer each question of the week. And you just might see your responses pop up here on the show.
And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Ouachita News Show, so you'll never miss out on the latest and greatest Ouachita news. We'll see you next week.